Hello everyone and welcome into the kitchen and part one of this kitchen makeover. So this video is primarily going to be talking through some ideas. I really need your guys' input for some of the changes and things that I want to do in here. So I figured I might as well just set up a camera, we could chit chat a little bit here, and then you guys can give me your suggestions and your ideas and some of the things that you would like to see in this space. So first of all, I want to start with what this space looks like right now. This is what the kitchen looked like when we moved in. You can tell it is very outdated and also pretty small, though it is bigger than all of the other kitchens that I've ever had in an apartment. And one of my favorite parts of the whole room that I have never had before in an apartment is a window over the sink. I love having some natural light in here. And also, I kind of like that it has a little bit more character than your standard apartment kitchen. I think that there's something that we can work with and have a little fun with in here to really kind of play around with what we have, because obviously we cannot gut this kitchen because we rent. Now, some areas that I don't like would be the counters. I do think that these are just looking a little worse for wear. So I do think it might be time to do contact paper on the counters. That is something I've never done before. We are gonna test some of that out a little bit later on in this video. Another thing that I don't really like about this kitchen is kind of the lack of prep space, because this little counter here is way too small to prep anything on. It's really just a good place to sit something. This one is weird because it is in the corner and has the microwave. And then that really only leaves this piece of counter right here in the front, which kind of has turned into our coffee station. Here, let me move you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. This has turned into the coffee station right here, and I've kind of condensed it to this little area right here, and that's working out very well for us. Though I do obviously want to revamp some of the decor in the kitchen makeover. All the decor in here is from the last kitchen. I don't have anything new in here yet. So because of that lack of prep space, we get to the very first thing that I need your guys' feedback on. So give me 1 second. And that is a kitchen island, and I just love this thing. This is one of the very first things that we bought when we moved in because we really needed this prep space in here. Now, the question that I have is, how should we orient this in here? Because, well, obviously this is not how it's going to be oriented. I only did that for the dramatic effect in the video. Here is option 1, which would be your more traditional island placement. I do really like it this way. However, I do kind of feel like it is a little bit cramped. I mean, you could definitely still open the oven all the way. You can definitely get in the fridge like this, so that part's not a problem. You can get into the pantry all the way as well. And also, you have to check the dishwasher. And definitely, like, see, you can get in the dishwasher, so that's not a problem. I do think this is like the traditional look where this is the focal point of the room. The only thing is the light fixture on the ceiling is not centered above it, which kind of annoys me a little bit. And just overall, like, when Alex and I are both in here, because we have been trying out both of these layouts I'm going to show you, it does kind of end up being like we have to run around the island like this to kind of both operate in here. So I don't know, I like it in the middle because it feels traditional. And I can do one more thing, hold on. I can add my kitchen stools in. These are the stools just from the last apartment, and they tuck perfectly under here. And what I like about these stools in particular with this orientation is that they kind of disappear underneath because they are the same color as the island. So I don't really need to worry about having some sort of pretty or accent stool right here. But again, it is a little bit cramped when you go and sit down. Like, if you needed to go around this way, you really can't, or get access to the pantry. So that is the first orientation. Let me show you the second one. And this is the second option for the kitchen island, pushed up against this wall, so it's more like a peninsula instead of an island. What obviously is great about this is it clearly has way more room in between the counter and the edge of the island, and then frees up all of this floor space right here where you have access to all of the different doors in the kitchen. I like this layout because it does feel a little bit less cramped than the other one. It still has that nice prep station that we have right here, but there are some things about it that I don't like as well, such as when I'm working over here and Alex is at the stove or vice versa, it's like our backs are to each other, which I don't really love that for, you know, conversation and just, you know, enjoying the experience of cooking in the kitchen together. I mean, I could go around to the other side, I guess, but to me, it'd make more sense to be on this side versus standing in the doorway. And then the other thing is I think I would have to get new bar stools because these just blend in way too much to what we have here and it just doesn't look as nice. So things to consider. Obviously, the third option would be to just eliminate the island completely, but I am not going to do that. I love this thing. I just love the beautiful legs and how the wood matches just so perfectly in here. And like I said, addresses the much needed counter space because this room just does not have enough without it. I think we just have to go between option A or option B. Okay, so now I do have a few more things that I want to show you guys or ask for some feedback on, but first I think it's important that we start talking about the design. So I love to plan and design my rooms. First was starting by Pinterest. You guys can totally follow me on Pinterest. I keep it linked in my description box on every single video. After I start curating kind of where I am going on Pinterest, I then move over to Milanote, and I've been using just the free version of Milanote for quite a while now. Whenever I plan a room makeover, I thought we could make this mood board together because honestly, I am super conflicted on how I want the decor and pretty touches to go in here. So let's kind of figure that out together. So you can kind of see here on the board, I have a few different things of just like what I am already kind of planning, some links to items that I like, and also just some items that I need. But we do need to make a board to make this mood board. So here is our blank mood board, and I'm gonna just use this mood board template so that I can fill in everything. I'm actually gonna just clear out all of the little things other than where the color and the little title things are because I don't need them, but I do want to use these cute little color code things to help us figure out the color direction and how we want to decorate in here. So let's go to Pinterest. And you can see that this is a very busy board, and we'll go over to my kitchen mood board. I do think that there's a very clear kind of theme that you can get just from looking at my Pinterest here. You can see that we're kind of leaning a little bit more to that cottage aspect. I feel like this townhome just kind of has that cozy cottage kind of feel to it, so I really want to accentuate that, and I think that's going to be a really great way to tie in the existing cabinetry and add a little bit of character. I also think because there's white appliances in here, that kind of just leans a little bit more cottage versus like a more refined type kitchen look. So I think that is just kind of like the vibe that you're gonna be seeing throughout this entire apartment. I just want to add in like charm, you know, I feel like that's the word, like charm, some character, because apartments always struggle with that aspect. They're always so cookie cutter because they want them to appeal to so many people so that anybody can move in, and I just feel like that's just kind of sad, and I don't want to feel like I live in a sad beige box. So that's why I just think it's so important to take the time to make your space your own, even if you are a renter. I always do all of my makeovers on such a like grand scale, but as long as you take away one little element or idea or design choice or just kind of the overall inspiration of knowing that you can do something like this too. I know that I have done my job successfully, and I just want everybody to just feel like they can call their place a home even if they don't own it. I'm definitely a homebody, so I want my home to look and feel good. So now that we have everything just kind of pulled over onto my Milanote board, I want to rearrange it so that we kind of have an idea of what we're going for. So I kind of pulled in a couple that are like overall inspiration photos of the kitchen. I think I pulled in 2. I could pull in a couple more. Let's see. I do think I like this picture better. So those are kind of the images. Let me zoom in on them a little bit. These are kind of like the images of what I am most feeling like I want this kitchen to look like. I just love the kind of warmth. There's just that tone with working with the wood cabinets. So that's very, very nice. And I just think that this looks really good. And I think it's something that is achievable in here, and we can really kind of pull in that vibe. Now I also want to talk about like some of the accents. I love mood boarding to kind of figure out what to look for when I'm shopping for some of the home decor elements. And one of the things that I'm definitely thinking about for the window behind me is cafe curtains. I really want to add cafe curtains on the window. I think that's going to add that charming cottage feel that I was talking about. And we're going to install those in a very renter friendly way. I already have some ideas for that. I also just really love this photo. I don't know what it is about this photo, but I'm just drawn to it. I think it's the color. I really like the combination of colors here with the brassy accents, with the green and kind of like the reddish, almost kind of terracotta type colors, and a little bit of blue. I really do like that. And you can kind of see that in this photo here as well. And then this one I grabbed because I just really like how eclectic it feels. Now I did bring in our island. This is the exact one. Believe it or not, I don't think I mentioned it. It's from Walmart. It was actually pretty inexpensive for being real wood and real marble for the top. So I will link that island in the description box if you guys are curious. So I have 2 images here. One for if we go the option A for the orientation with this kind of beautiful styling here, and it's kind of centered in the room. And then option B is if we butt it up against the wall. I really like kind of the pictures with that gallery light over top. I love a gallery light, but some sort of maybe sconce or plug-in pendant lighting above the gallery would be really cute. That is an option. So as I keep kind of considering and going back and forth on how I want to orient this island, those are just maybe some more to help you guys make your decision as well. So now we come to the big part here, which is deciding my color scheme. And I've been having a hard time figuring out what I want to do and the direction that I want to go in. My brain keeps going back to that one photo that I told you about, and I just think that there's something about the combination of the green, the blue, and kind of like that reddish orange. And so then I thought, well, instead of like red, what if I did more of like a copper, kind of, you can see in this picture right here. I think that copper could be kind of a cool accent. So what if we do like this? I'm gonna grab a blue from this photo, and then I'm gonna grab a green from like maybe right here, and then a copper color. I just think that's really pretty. And I'm thinking it's gonna work more like the copper and brown tones are gonna be kind of like the main base, almost like the neutral in here. And same with the green. The green's gonna act like a neutral, and then bringing in pops of a really pretty blue. I think it's gonna look really good, and I'm kind of loving this. And doing this mood board exercise together, I think really helped. I just have such a clear direction of where I want to go, seeing all of these images working together on a screen. Now that we have this plan here, I do next up want to talk about the backsplash and also the counters of the counter behind me. And so I do have some samples right here. This is not everything that I have picked out or am considering, and only so far 2 of the samples that I have ordered have arrived. So we're gonna look at these, and then hopefully the other one also comes in later today and I could just like edit that one in for you guys to show you that one. But I bought a small roll of marble contact paper that I thought kind of looked like the marble on the island, that I'm gonna just put behind me here to test it out, to see if we like it. I always do recommend testing products first before fully committing to them. And I'm not sure if I actually love this one now that I'm seeing it, so I'm glad that I got the smallest, cheapest roll that I could get. So I think first, let's get a little bit of the peel and stick countertop down, because I think I need to see the counter before I can visualize the tiles. Definitely looks weird to just have a single stripe on the counter, but I think this is enough to at least get a vibe or a feeling, and also to know whether or not this is going to be removable. You know, any advice if you guys have done this, let me know in the comments. I have never ever done this before. I have done contact paper on walls and it has worked out really, really well, but never a counter. But I do really like the look of it. I just feel like this looks so much prettier than the before, which was all old and kind of worn and just outdated, being that like creamy colored counter. So let me know if you guys think that this is going to go horribly wrong if we leave this on here for a while. I need all of the feedback we can get. Let's just say that we are going to marble, and let's take a look at some of our tile samples. So I'm gonna need you guys to use your imagination, because I'm not going to take these out of their packaging because I'm going to return whatever I don't end up using. So here is option 1. I think I don't love the color of this, but you know, you guys let me know if you like the color, or even just like the overall shape of the tile, like this vertical orientation. I could also turn it this way. They do have it in a couple different colors too, where I can maybe do like more of a white toned or like a white and grayish kind of tone. And here is option 2, the white subway tile, which is very, very classic. You can definitely tell with this that the countertops are not white with the contact paper that I have here, but that can easily be changed too. I do think that that's kind of pretty and adds some brightness, but let me know what you guys think. Third option that I will show you right now with some voiceover, because it hasn't arrived in the mail just yet, but this is a square tile option. And again, if you don't like the color, let me know what you guys think about the shape, because I also am kind of going with our 3 shapes of whether I should go for subway, the vertical tiles, or a more traditional square shaped tile. So let me know, because I need all the help I can get for making this decision. There's so many other things in this space that we are working on in here, and I'm so excited about the next video. We're gonna be doing some renter-friendly DIYs to transform some of the uglier things in here that I can't really change. Just some small, easy projects that I think that you guys can do in your own rental that I'm very excited about, because they'll start to show you a little bit more of the direction that this kitchen is going. I am so excited to be working on this room, and I'm just so appreciative of you guys who are watching right now and providing me some feedback, because I've never really made a video like this before. It'll be kind of fun for you guys to follow along in this kitchen makeover series to see which of your ideas came to life here in the kitchen. I am ready to start tackling this. I'm so excited. And so yeah, make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on all of the future kitchen videos. So thanks guys for spending the day with me and listening through all of my ramblings, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.